Well, we've known for a while that some of the original cast members for X-Men, the animated series, will be returning to X-Men 97. But now we've got a full cast breakdown with all the new voices, and a bit of behind-the-scenes drama that drove showrunner Bo DeMeo off Twitter. So let's break it all down. I know I'm not alone for my level of excitement for the new X-Men animated series, X-Men 97. The fact that it's a continuation of the original show is kind of a big deal for fans, and many of us are looking forward to where this is going. Now, Marvel Studios themselves has been pretty quiet about the show, and almost every update or detail we've been getting from showrunner Bo DeMeo. But recently, the team at Covered Geekly dug into the US Copyright Office website and found a full cast list for the upcoming show. Now, there's some new names here, but also a lot of returning faces, and it should be a pretty good mix. Before we do this though, let's give a shout out to our favorite podcast, Who Would Win? Who Would Win is a geek and comedy podcast that debates battles between superheroes and villains from the worlds of comics, sci-fi, and fantasy. James and Ray have incredibly educated takes on all of these characters, and it is by far one of the funnest superhero podcasts out there, so make sure you check it out. Now that that's done, let's dive into all the new casting news and who is indeed part of the new X-Men series. First up on the list is Ray Chase, who will replace the late Norm Spencer as Cyclops. He has played superheroes in the past like Adam Strange and is a very well-established voice actor. Now, voice actress Jennifer Hale will be taking over for Catherine Disher as Jean Grey. She is also a very well-established voice actress and been part of dozens of projects. Now, we have Lenore Zahn returning as Rogue, George Buza is back as Beast, and Allison Court, who originally played Jubilee, will be replaced by Holly Cho. Cho doesn't have a big animated series background, but she has been part of a lot of shows like The Big Sick and The Blacklist. Allison Seeley Smith is returning as Storm. The legendary Cal Dodd is of course back as Wolverine, with AJ Lacasio as Gambit, who has been part of dozens of animated projects including Back to the Future and the upcoming Gremlins Secret of the Mogwai. Additionally, David Hemblin has been replaced by Matthew Watterson as Magneto, with Christopher Britton added to play Mr. Sinister, and Guy Augusti set to play Roberto Costa, aka Sunspot. Now, that last casting created a bit of drama, and some fans actually turned on Bo DeMeo and got super nasty. Augusti is actually from Brazil, but for some reason people took a little bit of offense, felt like this was somewhat of a whitewashing of the character, and this led to some pretty nasty exchanges with DeMeo, who has now taken a break from Twitter, basically cutting off her supply of new news, which is highly unfortunate. Now, like I said, all this comes via some research done by Governed Geekly from the US Copyright Office, so there is a distinct possibility behind the scenes some of these roles have been swapped out or it's not 100% accurate. I think one of the big selling points of the show was not only its continuation, but the return of most of the voice cast. Obviously, some voice cast members, like Norm Spencer, who passed away, are no longer available to do the show, but it looks like this many returning voices, especially Lenore Zahn's Rogue, Allison Seeley Smith's Storm, and of course Cal Dodd as Wolverine, that kind of continuation will build instant rapport with fans, and it's something to be pretty excited for. Now, the other day we reported on a potential premiere date coming up this January, and like these castings, Bo DeMeo did not debunk any of that, so it appears at this point that those are indeed legitimate, and we will indeed be getting the new X-Men at the beginning of 2024. We're likely not to get any more updates about X-Men 97 probably until SDCC, where we'll finally get a trailer, but if that comes sooner, well, we're gonna have to wait and see.